Rodgers was injured in the first quarter Sunday on this hit from Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr. McCarthy took issue with Barr's hit. Just take a listen.
I didn't like the hit. I had a chance to watch it last night on the plane. He's out of the pocket. He's clearly expecting to get hit, but to pin him to the ground like that, I felt it was an illegal act, and to sit here and lose any of your players on something like that, yeah, it doesn't feel very good. So, yeah, I didn't like the hit. It's unnecessary, legal, wherever you want to put it at, but it was totally unnecessary in my opinion.
We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning.
Welcome. Does Mike McCarthy have a point?
Of course he has a point. He's on the bad side of this. It was his player that got hurt. His star player in Aaron Rodgers, the face of the NFL, if you ask me and several other people who watched this game. The point, however, it's irrelevant. And the reason why I say this is because there's nothing that can change with him having the point. And if he was on the other side, which you take Mike Zimmer, who his player was the one, Anthony Barr, who imposed the hit. He's going to say it was above board, as he did. Every head coach, every coach has been in this situation where your player has been the one accused of being dirty, or your player has been on the end of an injury of a potential flag-worthy hit. That's all Mike McCarthy is doing. He's making sure he defends his player and saying, yes, absolutely it was unnecessary. Now, if you watch, the reason why he has a point is because when we watched the game last night and we watched the 53-yard touchdown pass that Marcus Mariota threw to Tywan Taylor, Jonathan Hawkins got flagged for a late hit or roughing the passer that happened almost right after he threw the ball, released the ball. Aaron Rodgers got hit about a second and it was a little later. So it could have been flagged. It wasn't. However, I don't think it, again, we talked about it being dirty or not. I don't think it was dirty or maliciously intended. And I don't really believe that he pinned him to the ground. He form tackled and just laid on him. I mean, that's what you do when you tackle a guy. And it's unfortunate that Aaron Rodgers got hurt. But yes, Mike has a point to say this was unnecessary because it's his player on the wrong side of it. Had it been Clay Matthews or Nick Perry imposing a hit on Case Keenum, he would say, my players, come on, nobody wants to see a guy get hurt.
That's what we teach.
That's what we teach. It's unfortunate that it happened, and move on. But he's on the bad end of this on this side. So of course you have to say that. Like I said, every coach has been in this situation. Every coach will side with their player.
He's speaking out of frustration. He's frustrated that he just saw his season end when Aaron Rodgers' collarbone. He said, this is what Mike McCarthy said. He said Rodgers was out of the pocket expecting to get hit. He got hit. He just happened to get injured on the hit. That's what happened. Out of the pocket. Rodgers was out of the pocket expecting to get hit. He got hit. He got injured. It happened. Now, if the same play happens and Rodgers doesn't break his collarbone, we're not even having this discussion.
Absolutely.
I don't believe in having a discussion because of the injury. Either it was a dirty play or it wasn't dirty. See, I don't look at the end result to determine if a play was dirty or not. No, it was a legal play. You're taught, make the quarter big man. Things break, things tear. And it's unfortunate, but it happened. But there's nothing dirty about this play.
Unfortunately, you both keep missing the point. The point is it's a legal hit that should be outlawed to protect by far the most valuable player on the football field. And in this case, one of the two faces of the NFL, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Thank you very much. So, Mike McCarthy said, to pin him to the ground like that, I felt was an illegal act. Well, you felt it was, but it's legal to pin him to the ground like that. And then the former Pro Bowl linebacker in his 11th season, Ahmad Brooks, said he didn't have to drive him into the ground. No, he really didn't have to. And then Jari Evans, who's a 6-time Pro Bowler, a guard for the Packers now, said he could have pulled up, but he wanted to send a message, to your point, because all of a sudden you get a free shot at the head of the snake. He's not just the head of the snake. He's the head of the whole NFL, at least of the NFC side.
Yep.
And you've got him in the most defenseless, vulnerable position you can get him in because he's on one foot looking downfield. The ball is gone. He's a little off balance, so he can't protect himself. He can't sort of duck and cover and withstand the blow. Nope. He is completely at your mercy. He is a sitting duck. He is as vulnerable as you can be, and if you are allowed to, and I don't blame Anthony Barr because he's taught to finish this play out,
Right.
you can even bounce on his shoulder, and he aimed his bounce perfectly to the right shoulder, and he came down full force, 6'5", 255 pounds on the throwing shoulder of a man who's about 6'2". I think he's lost some weight this year. He looks like 215-ish, Aaron Rodgers. And crack, gone for the year. You got the right one. You even pinpointed the right collarbone and broke his throwing shoulder collarbone, and he is done. And the only silver lining here is that the competition committee will have to address this offseason, just the way in 2008, after that season, it had to address what became known as the Brady rule, because Pollard came in late on Tom Brady with his left leg planted, ball gone, and bam, ACL, gone for the year. So they said, what would they call it, like the one-step rule? You can't get up and then leap into the quarterback.
Even if you go to the ground, you have to make an effort to get up. You can't the quarterback in his knee or ankle area from the ground.
So this is the antithesis. This is the opposite of that. I don't care if the quarterback is in or out of the pocket. I've said this for 20 years. I'm not being 20/20 hindsight about this. I'm not being a hypocrite. I've said it's so unfair to allow especially a defensive lineman or a linebacker, bigger players than the quarterback, to continue through the tackle where you drive them backward, and a lot of times their head whiplashes on the turf. You get that one so you can get a concussion. And most of the time, the most common injury a quarterback suffers is when they get, it's the Tony Romo injury, one of the clavicles is going to crack because
or shoulder.
They're kind of a little. They're kind of a small bone.
Because they don't work their shoulder.
No,
they don't work their upper bodies like a quarterback. Like a normal a football player, because you want to be fluid in your throwing motion. So you don't need chest and straps and all that. You want to be able to fluid throw the football. But here's the thing, Skip. The guy is protected in the pocket, and the only thing is that Aaron was rolling to his right. So when he throws the ball, he's going to be on his right. If he's rolling to his left, it'd have been his left shoulder that got pinned. But as a defender, you're taught to secure the quarterback. You grab him, and you boom.
But you know, it's just like when you pull up on a punt block.
Yeah.
If the ball is gone off the punter's foot, you know you can. You just got to pull up, because if you just touch him a little bit, it's going to be 5 yards.
See, I think
you could pull up.
No.
I think that
he did pull up.
Here's the thing. In this league, in our league, there's different rules of engagement that apply when you're talking about the quarterback position. You alluded to the Tom Brady changing of that rule. In football, you are taught to, I don't care how you get him down, whether you're on the ground and you still have a chance to grab him, get him down. The quarterbacks in this league promote rule changes because they are the face of the league. They are typically the face of franchises. They are the most, whether I like to say it, whether anybody on that football field agrees or disagrees, the reality is that they are the most important position on the field at all times. And so, yes, the referees, the league has to protect their greatest asset, which is the quarterback position. And so to that, Mike McCarthy has a point to say, yes, it was unnecessary. Brooks, Jari Evans, they all, if Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback, I'm saying, absolutely, I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But if Barr is my teammate, I'm defending him. Absolutely. If this was
Barr's your teammate, you're thinking he's a cheap shot.
No, I'm thinking no.
But at the same time, even to that point, we all know that regardless if we agree with it or disagree with whichever side we're on, we question like, well, they could have thrown a flag. It definitely was flag worthy, pending the rules that are in place of roughing the passer. It was definitely flag worthy.
No? If a flag had been thrown, would it have changed your mind? I don't know. I think it would have. Greg, thanks for joining us.
It happens.
The great Magic Johnson joins us next. We'll talk to him about Lonzo, the Lakers, and more. We'll be right back.
What's up, my man? How you been? Still looking good. Homeboy.